Logan FROMME with the Backwoodsman's Institute. Today in this video we're going to be talking about budget firearms. If I only had the money for one firearm, but I wanted to hunt all the seasons throughout the year legally, squirrel, turkey, deer, what firearm would I choose? That's what we're going to be talking about today. Alright, know that in this video I'm not trying to promote a specific brand or a specific firearm. I'm going to talk about my opinion, the type of firearm that I view as the ultimate budget general purpose firearm that I can use to hunt small game all the way up to large game, if it's legal in your area to hunt with this type of firearm for large game. I'm going to give another option that I would use if it wasn't legal for me to use this firearm to hunt deer in my area. I'm going to give another option for all you viewers out there that it may not be that case in the state that you live in. So multi-use in mine, this is my Mossberg 500. It's a 12 gauge. This is my budget gun. Alright, with the Mossberg, like I said, not trying to be brand specific, you're always going to have your Ford people and your Chevy people out there. They're going to get what they're going to get. But this firearm right here was in my budget. Mossberg is a good quality firearm. I know some people might have shortcomings with it, but overall, it's a good quality firearm. It's durable, it's dependable, and that's why I chose it. How this shotgun was bought was it was bought as a combo, meaning it had 2 or more barrels. So it came with a choke barrel that I can screw in the chokes. I got a full modified or improved cylinder that came with it. It also came with a rifled slug barrel. Now that gave me an option of hunting large game, deer with slugs, or turkey, waterfowl, all the way down to small game with choked barrel. So that all of a sudden became the ultimate budget gun. Alright, back on the topic of the shotgun, I chose a pump action shotgun over a semi-automatic shotgun for my budget firearm because of the simple fact of the price difference, okay? Also, in my opinion, manual operating firearms such as a bolt action are always going to be more reliable than a semi-automatic. A brake action is going to be more reliable than a pump shotgun or a bolt action just because there's less moving parts. Another reason I chose the pump over the single shot is for the simple fact that it holds multiple rounds. Semi-auto would too, but then you go back to how much is in your budget to spend on a firearm. These shotgun barrels are chambered for 3-inch, and it states right on the side chambered for 3-inch shells and 2 3/4-inch shells. So usually, as a rule of thumb, and I say usually because there's all different types of shotguns out there, but usually the barrel, if it's chambered for 3-inch, it'll shoot 2 3/4. It'll shoot smaller shells than what it's chambered for. But if it does not state exactly what size shell you can use in the barrel of your shotgun, or if you choose to buy a budget shotgun like this, if it doesn't state exactly what to use, contact the manufacturer of the company and double check with them to see if you're eligible or if you can shoot that shell through that barrel. So a barrel chambered in 3-inch is plenty sufficient enough for all different types of hunting. I personally do not see the need to shoot 3.5-inch magnums at turkeys or deer or anything like that. So 3-inch chamber for me is sufficient enough. All right, let's talk about the slug barrels. This open sight one right here, like I said, came with the combo. This is also a rifled slug barrel with a cantilever scope mount. I bought this after the fact that I had this combo. Topic, do you need a scope for your slug barrel? No, because in all reality, you're not going to get an accurate shot past 100 yards the majority of the time. Now there's some sabots out there that perform really well in rifled slug barrels, and such as this Hornady SST. This is what my dad Scott uses in his rifled slug barrel, and he swears by them. He loves them. I always shot Brennicke's. They're not saboted. They're actually rifled slugs meant for smooth or rifled barrels. I had luck with them. My gun shot these Brennicke's a lot better than any other slug. So that's what I went with. It's not about spending top dollar for an ammo. It's about matching your barrel to the ammo you're going to be using to find your group that is the best. It may be the cheapest ammo out there, or you may be the unlucky one and you might have spent a little more on the ammo. It's going to take some trial and error to find that group and figure out what works the best. All right, what makes the choke barrel so versatile are the ability to use screw and chokes. You can tie them to the type of game and the scenario, the hunting scenario you're going to be in. Let's say I'm going squirrel hunting, and I know I might have to take a shot at a squirrel 50 foot up on top of a poplar or top of a hickory. I might want to go with a modified choke because it's going to keep my my pattern tighter than with my improved cylinder. But if I went with a full choke, I can reach that squirrel no problem. But if I get a squirrel 10 yards away, then it's gonna have it's gonna be squirrel hamburger. So modified, in my opinion, would be the best choke option there. Now when I'm small game hunting, I like to use 6-shot. There's enough size to that BB that it carries out and it carries that knockdown power. If I gotta take a shot at a squirrel on top of a tree, 6-shot is an effective shot size for small game. Dove, for instance, I like to use 7-shot when I'm hunting dove, just because 7-shot is small enough, and dove is an easy bird to knock down. So you don't need that much, you don't need that heavy of a shot when you're going after doves. Now let's say I'm crow hunting. Crow hunting, I'll go back to my 6s that I use for small game, just because they're a tougher bird to knock down and they need a little more knockdown power. So I go back to my 6s. Now you can also use a shotgun for predator hunting, coyotes and foxes. It's excellent for both of those game. What I like to do then is set up at night in the woods, in the thick, where they're going to be close in on you, and I like to use number 4 buckshot. What I do there with my choke is I use my improved cylinder. When it gets to buckshot, you don't really want to go above modified, but you can pattern your shotgun up into modified and see what shoots the best. So like I said, I use improved cylinder whenever I'm coyote hunting in number 4 buckshot. So once again, adding to the versatility of this shotgun combo. Turkey hunting, you want to use a full choke, because when you're turkey hunting, it's not like you're wing shooting. You're not swinging through and hoping a pattern hits the object you're going at, but you're aiming at a specific spot on that turkey, its neck and head region. You want the tightest, the tightest group of pattern you can have going at that turkey's head as possible. So that's why a full choke, in my opinion, is the smallest you should go. Now this combo came with a full choke. If you wanted to buy a turkey choke, an extra full or a turkey choke to go with it, they usually run about 15 to 20 bucks. So that's another option you have, and you just screwed it in the end of your barrel. Now you have an awesome turkey gun. Even though with a full choke, you can take this gun turkey hunting. Let's talk about steel shot and waterfowl hunting. This is my waterfowl barrel. Back in the day, I always heard the old timers talk about how steel shot ruins barrels. That might have been the case back whenever, fixed barrels were the norm. If they try to shoot steel shot through a full choke, even with chokes, screw-in chokes nowadays, I don't recommend going above a modified as well, because steel doesn't conform like lead. So it's going to try to get through whatever it's going to get through, even though it's a tight pattern, or a tight choke. So modified is the tightest I go. I use improved cylinder whenever I'm duck hunting. Now, back on the topic of steel shot and shotgun barrel damage. Back in the day, shotgun barrels were made out of a weaker metal than the steel. So it's nothing to see. It was nothing to see sparks shooting out the end of your barrel when you shot steel shot, because of the steel shot rubbing against your barrel and tearing up the inside. Modern barrels nowadays are made with a higher quality metal and can withstand steel shot a lot better. Does some damage occur? I mean, that's a touchy subject. I still, I'll use this as my steel shot barrel, and I'll use it as a regular lead shot barrel. As with your barrel, your chokes need to be rated for steel shot as well. So if it doesn't say okay for steel or rated for steel on your choke, contact the manufacturer of the company or manufacturer of the barrel and ask them if it's okay to shoot steel shot through this or whatever. That's their job. They're there to help you and aid you in any questions. They're going to know a lot more than if you just go ask your neighbor or your hunting buddy, hey, is this okay to shoot steel through? Oh yeah, sure. Ask the company, ask the people who make the firearm, and they're going to be able to give you the best answer. Right there I showed you that the shotgun combo with the rifled slug barrel and the shot barrel is the ultimate budget gun. It enables you to hunt every species throughout the year. All right, you're not limited to a deer rifle or a duck gun. You just open the window for one firearm to hunt all seasons. Now, if it's not legal in your area to hunt with a slug barrel, I'm going to show you another option for a budget firearm. I suggest getting a multi-use single-shot rifle such as this one right here. Multi-use meaning you can get different barrels, and you're making this essentially a different gun each time you switch the barrel. But this is a New England Firearms handy rifle. H&R and New England Firearms are kind of one and the same. And not a lot of people know this, but they have a barrel program where you can get different barrels to fit your receiver right here. Now, if you have a handy rifle or you think this is your budget firearm, you can get to their website and you can kind of get a hold of them and figure out exactly what you have to do to get a barrel, because they have to match a D receiver. There's different types of receivers that match different barrels. There's a whole list of things that go on here. It's too long for this video. So if this is for you, contact H&R, get on their website, type in their barrel program, search for it, and it'll pop up and it'll give you someone to contact. But this right here, not being brand specific, Thompson Center, Encore, you can switch out barrels for that. It's a little more pricey. Their barrels are a little more expensive. These barrels you can get from anywhere from $100 to about $150, ranging all different types of calibers. The extra barrels that I bought for my shotgun, they range from about $150 to $175. They were after the combo, so they weren't included in the combo. All right, back to the shotgun. The pump shotgun combo, in my opinion, is the ultimate firearm for the hunter on a budget. Now, there's no denying it's gonna keep you in the woods longer. You're gonna be able to go after multiple game species throughout the year when they're in season with a shotgun combo. Now, I paid about $350 for this combo back in the day, but I bought it because it was in my budget for the firearm that I knew I was gonna be using year round. I don't get wrapped around brand names. I wanted something that was dependable, durable, and moderately priced. I didn't need something top dollar. One, because it's not in my budget, and two, you don't need top dollar equipment in order to harvest game. All you need is confidence in the equipment you have or the equipment that's in your budget. You gain confidence with your equipment by practicing with it and using it and knowing its limitations. Now, this firearm has different limitations than a top dollar shotgun out there, but I know that and I use that to my advantage, and I can still effectively harvest game. So in my opinion, the best firearm on a budget is a shotgun combo. So I hope you guys like this video. Catch you in a bit.